dear students, welcome to our today's lecture. In our today's lecture, we are going to study pharmaceutical incompatibilities. And basically, we'll be studying about physical incompatibility and chemical incompatibility. So let's begin with our today's lecture. So students, starting with what is meant by compatibility. So compatibility is a term used to describe the interaction of two or more substances that results in changes to the medical, physical or chemical properties of pharmaceutical dosage form, right? Whereas incompatibility can be defined as change resulting and an undesirable product is formed which may affect the safety, efficacy, appearance and stability of the pharmaceutical product. It means that students, as you know, there are so many ingredients and drugs which have been used to produce any formulations, right? And there might be chances of having interaction amongst them. Then this interaction may be physical, chemical or therapeutic, right? Which may affect their original properties. Hence, we can also define pharmaceutical incompatibility as untoward results occurred by prescribing, giving or mixing of substances and drugs which are antagonistic in nature, which means they are not compatible or not fit for each other or when they are used together. Okay, so this incompatibility can occur during the process of compounding, formulating, manufacturing, packing, dispensing, storing or administration of drugs. So students, this stage can be even during compounding or when you are formulating those respective product or when you are manufacturing, right? So ingredients what you have selected, they might be not fit to be used together, or during packing, that is the packing material what you are selecting, it may react with the product that you are packing it. Then even during dispensing, storing, if you have stored them in unfavorable condition, so ultimately there are the chances of reaction. Then administration of drug, they are not been administered by a right route. The incompatibility may be detected by change in physical, chemical and therapeutic qualities of the medicine. Okay, now moving further, reasons for incompatibility. So basically the reasons for incompatibility are interaction of one drug with other drugs. There may be some sort of interaction between the drug and drug that are present in a single formulation, or there can be interaction between the drug and the additive, or the third one can be dosage errors. Now coming to the next point, that is importance of determining incompatibility. So why there is need to determine incompatibility? Incompatible product may affect safety of medicament, okay? They may affect efficacy of product, they may affect appearance of medicine or purpose for which the medicine is given, right? So therefore it is important to determine incompatibility. Now moving to next point, that is classification. So incompatibility can be classified basically in three groups. The first one is physical incompatibility, the second one is chemical incompatibility and third one is therapeutic incompatibility. Okay, physico-chemical incompatibility is the combination of physical incompatibility and chemical incompatibility. However, in this video, we are going to study the first two, that is the physical incompatibility and chemical incompatibility. Now, moving to the first one, that is physical incompatibility. So students, when two or more than two substances are combined together, a physical changes takes place and an unacceptable product is formed. In physical incompatibility, here what happens are when a substance are mixed, okay? So in that preparation, it loses their safety, appearance and therapeutic purpose due to which, due to their physical properties, okay, which results in their color, odor, taste, viscosity, and morphology. Okay, so it may result in formation of unsightly, non-uniform, and unpalatable mixture. Getting that is such mixture which are not accepted by a pharmacist. Getting now moving to next one, that is physical incompatibility can be due to first one is insolubility, that is insolubility of the prescribed agent in vehicle. Then second one, that is immiscibility of two liquids, okay, that is both are not miscible with each other. Third one is precipitation, it occurs due to solvent is insoluble when it is added to solution. And the next reason for physical incompatibility is liquefaction. So liquefaction of solids mixed in a dry state. Okay. Now we'll be seeing this one by one. So starting with insolubility. So students, you know that certain substances have poor solubility in water, right? It means the inability of material to dissolve in a particular solvent system. The majority of incompatibility is due to insolubility of the or inorganic as well as organic compounds in particular solvents. The factors which may affect the solubility include pH, then milling, surfactant, chemical reaction, complex formation, co-solvent, etc. Moving further, this is the example of insolubility. So, in mixture of prepared chalk which includes chalk powder 2 gram, tincture catachue 2 ml and cinnamon water 2 ml. Now here incompatibility occurs because chalk powder is not soluble in water and it gets precipitated when added to aqueous medium. These precipitates are formed in diffusible in nature which results in physical incompatibility. However, by using of suitable suspending agent such as 2% weight by volume of compound tragicant powder, it can be overcome, right? That is, if we use a suitable suspending agent, we can overcome this problem. Getting so use of suspending agent is necessary to suspend the precipitated chalk powder. So this is how we can overcome this type of physical incompatibility that has occurred because of insolubility. Okay. Now moving to next one, that is immiscibility. So students, when two ingredients are combined resulting in a non-homogeneous product, such ingredients are called as immiscible to each other and the phenomenon is called as immiscibility. A very common example is combination of oil and water, right? When they are mixed and shaken together, oil phase is completely separated with water phase on keeping it aside for a short time, right? This immiscibility of oil and water is due to high interfacial tension between the two phases that exist. However, that can be overcome by using a suitable emulsifying agent which lowers their interfacial tension. Right, students? So, before we proceed, we'll be seeing the factors which lead to immiscibility can be incomplete mixing, addition of insufficient surfactant, presence of microorganisms, or also temperature. Now, moving further, immiscibility can be overcome by vigorous shaking or by using of suitable emulsifying or solubilizing agents. So here is an example of immiscibility. Castor oil emulsion, which consists of castor oil 15 ml, water 60 ml. So students, in this prescription, castor oil is immiscible with water due to high interfacial tension, which is sign of incompatibility. And to sort out this problem, you have to select a proper emulsifying agent to be incorporated into your formulation so that you can overcome this incompatibility which have been raised because of immiscibility. Okay. Now, moving to next one, that is liquefaction. So, here liquefaction means formations of eutectic mixtures which is formed when certain low melting point solids are powdered together. A liquid or soft mass is produced due to lowering of melting point of the mixture to below room temperature. However, if such conditions takes place, compounding of such powder becomes difficult since ultimate mixture turns to liquid, right? Then methods to rectify liquefaction is by using of absorbents such as kaolin, light magnesium carbonate, etc. Now, moving to the techniques which can be used to rectify liquefaction. So, the first one is order of mixing by changing the order of mixing. Then, by alteration of solvent. The next one is change in form of ingredients. Next is alteration of volume. Then by emulsification. It can also be rectified by addition of suspending agent and by addition, substitution or omission of therapeutically inactive substances. Okay, so those substances which tends to liquefy that can be added, substituted or omitted with another substance. Okay, now looking to the example. So example of insufflation which consists of menthol 5 gram, camphor 5 gram and water 60 ml. So students, in this preparation, a mixture of both the ingredients in the prescription are liquefiable when mixed together. Therefore, the individual medicament should be powdered separately and mixed with the adsorbent and then combined together tightly and filled in a suitable container in order to overcome this problem of liquefaction. Now, moving to the next one, that is precipitation. So students, solubilized substance may precipitate from its solution if a non-solvent for a substance is added to the solution. And this precipitation can be prevented by vigorous shaking or by adding suitable thickening agent. So, example for this is lotion of compound tincture of benzene, which includes tincture benzoin compound 5 gram, glycerin 10 ml, rose water up to 100 ml. Now, the cause for this precipitation is tincture benzoin compound contain resin. This change in solvent system results in an unavoidable precipitate and it can be overcome by addition of tincture with rapid stirring yields a fine colloidal dispersion, so there is no need of any suspending agent. Okay, now moving further, to next one, that is chemical incompatibilities. So students, reaction between two or more substances which leads to change in chemical properties of pharmaceutical dosage form. As a result of this, a toxic or inactive product may be formed. Okay, so the talking about the occurrence of this chemical incompatibility. So chemical incompatibility occur due to chemical properties of drugs and additives like that of pH change, oxidation reduction reactions, acid base hydrolysis, then double decomposition or complex formation, and these reactions may be noticed by precipitation, effervescence, decomposition, color change, explosion, etc. So here are types of chemical incompatibilities. So based on their chemical interaction, we can uh, classify them as tolerated incompatibility and adjusted incompatibility. So tolerated incompatibility, here in this type of incompatibility, the chemical interaction can be minimized by changing the order of mixing or mixing the solution in dilute form without or by changing the order of mixing. However, no alteration is made in the formula. So whatever the list of ingredients are there in that respective formulation, those remains the same. However, in adjusted incompatibility, what happens is there is need for change in the formulation, okay, with a compound which is having equal therapeutic value. So here what you do, you can prevent the incompatibility by adding or substituting the reacting substance by something else. The substance which is reacting, you can replace that with some other substance which is which are, that is equivalently therapeutic in nature, that provides the same effect. Okay, so in tolerated incompatibility, there is no need of change in formula. However, in adjusted incompatibility, there is need for change in formula. Now moving to next one, that is based on nature of chemical reaction. It can be immediate incompatibility or delayed incompatibility. So, if the chemical reactions takes place immediately after combining the prescription ingredients, they are called immediate incompatibility. Hence, they should be dispensed only after correction. However, delayed incompatibility is when the chemical reaction proceeds at a very slow rate and no appreciable visible change occur, which may develop on keeping the product for a long time. Okay, and that is called as delayed incompatibility. It does not occur spontaneously, it takes a long time. Okay, then moving to next one, that is based on prescriber. It can be again of two type. The first one is intentional and unintentional. So when the prescriber knowingly prescribes the incompatible drugs, so that is intentional. He knows what he has done, right? Intentionally. Whereas unintentional means when the prescriber prescribes the drugs without knowing that they are incompatible between the prescribed drugs. So if it is done unwillingly, unknowingly, at that time it is known as unintentional. Okay. So the next is example. So here you can see the example of a prescription which is consisting of caffeine citrate 1 gram, sodium salicylate 3 gram, and water up to 100 ml. So here the cause of incompatibility is citric acid of caffeine citrate reacts with sodium citrate to yield precipitated salicylic acid, and to overcome this, substitution of caffeine citrate with caffeine in sodium citrate and caffeine citrate mixture. So if you replace this caffeine citrate, then this reaction can be avoided and you can form a more stable product. Getting? So that's all students in our today's video. Thank you for watching till end. I hope you have understood physical and chemical incompatibility. Thank you.